Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. So I just finished watching this video, What Japanese People Think About America and Americans. So I can't show you this video in its entirety, but look down below, I'm going to link it. And the reason why I was watching this video is because I've been to Japan twice, and I'm getting ready to go again, and I wanted to make a video letting you guys know what I think about Japanese people. So it's one thing to travel to another country where they speak the language. So let's say I was going to the UK or Australia. So it would be different and it would be a culture shock, yes. But when you are going to a country that you don't even speak their language, that's totally something different. So I'm going to tell you what was the biggest culture shock I found over there, and also I'm going to let you know what I think about Japan, Japanese people, and I'm going to tell you how I was treated while I was there. Well, let me start where she left off. So that is correct. In the US, our portion sizes are huge. But not only in the fast food restaurants. Even if you're going to go to a nice dine-in restaurant, Americans are prepared to eat their food and take home the rest. So we usually have like takeout boxes where we take home the remainder of our food and eat it later that night or the next day. So that is very typical. Now in Japan, their portion sizes, I would say are normal and regular at a dining-in restaurant, at a regular restaurant. I didn't see much difference. But at a fast food restaurant, their portion sizes are similar to our like kid sizes. So if you were to go to like McDonald's or Burger King and get a kid's meal, that is the standard size when you go to a fast food restaurant in Japan. Okay, one more thing. I feel like I have to elaborate on the large quantities of food in the US. So yes, our quantities are large. Our portions are enormous. But they are really, really inexpensive. And people in America, we love inexpensive things. We love to think that we're getting some kind of deal. We're not. We're getting a bunch of unhealthy food. But to us, it's a bargain, especially if you don't have a lot of money. That's the best way to go. You're going to go to a fast food restaurant. You're going to get a whole bunch of food for a very low cost. So let me give you an example. So a large pizza over here, you can get a large pizza for $5 or 500 yen for anyone watching in Japan. And over there, that same pizza would cost $30 or 30,000 yen. So our food is enormous, it's very inexpensive, and it is very, very delicious, I have to say. And I'm going to tell you guys something. When I was in Japan both times, I didn't see anyone overweight, except one person who worked in a fast food restaurant. That has to tell you something. Next thing I want to say that I noticed is that in America, we are really used to seeing all races, all nationalities. We really are. It's nothing to go into a grocery store and see somebody white, black, Asian, Hispanic, you name it, and they're speaking all different languages. That would not faze anybody here. We are so used to it. In Japan, it is mostly Japanese people. And when an American comes or somebody that looks different, you are noticed. So let me put it that way. You are noticed, and they're very helpful. They're curious as to why you're there. So, like here in America, let me give you an example. Here in America, let's say somebody comes up to you and they don't speak English. They're wanting directions, they're wanting help. I think a lot of Americans are so used to that, and maybe some are annoyed by that. But when I was in Japan, and I needed help a lot. So one very, very useful word to learn, basically one of the first words I learned was excuse me. So if I know how to say excuse me in Japanese, and I go up to somebody and I need something, so I would say, if I needed directions, I would say, sumimasen, and then I would show them my phone, like, where's this place or whatever. So one time I was looking for a very popular store in Japan, and so I saw somebody coming up the stairs in this shopping mall type thing, and I said, sumimasen, and I showed her the phone, the name of the store. And she literally walked me 2.5 blocks to the store. And she knew enough English to ask me why I'm there, and we had like a little conversation. But she literally went out of her way to show me, directions. And that's just one time. I mean, it was numerous times people really went out of their way to help me. So what I would have to say is Japanese people are friendly, helpful, and they really want to help you, and they're really curious as to why you are there. Now I want to talk about the culture shock I experienced. And I don't even know if shock is the word. It was all positive, basically. So I know this is a bit harsh, but I have described it this way for other people. To me, it seems like Japanese people are more civilized than Americans. Maybe they have more manners, maybe they have more etiquette, but it's definitely very noticeable. The best way I can just tell you guys is to give you some examples. So let's say we were on a crowded train or subway or bus. Crowded, full of people. Some people are even standing. So the way that they speak to each other, we speak to each other whispering. We don't want other people to have to hear our conversation. Nobody is on their phone talking. Everyone is looking down at their phone quietly. No one is having any conversations that you could hear. Everyone is quiet and has manners. And something else that kind of stands out to me regarding Japanese people, their etiquette and their manners. So my son and I, we walked to the mall, and we had walked that day so much. Every time I'm in Japan, I literally eat whatever I want, but the walking is so much. When I get home, I'm always 5 to 6 pounds lighter than when I came. Constant walking every single day. So we walk and we end up at this mall. We want to sit down and have something to eat and drink. I am so thirsty, right? So we finish eating and I want to take my drink with me. So I get ready to get up and he says, you have to finish that at the table. I'm like, what are you talking about? We're getting ready to walk back. I want to take my drink with me. I am so thirsty. He's like, you can't. You can't walk through a mall with a drink. It was just a cup with a cap on it and a straw. A typical drink, like a fountain drink. And he said, well, you can't walk through the mall. You can't walk down the street drinking something. It's bad manners, basically. And I thought he was joking, but I sat down and finished the drink. I could not take it with me. And then after that, I noticed walking through the mall, nobody is eating, nobody is drinking, nobody drinks anything on the street. Everyone is respectful. It's so weird. Even one time we went into a McDonald's, a crowded McDonald's. What is a crowded McDonald's like in the U.S.? You have kids running around screaming, food all over the place. Just sometimes it's chaos. When I went to the McDonald's in Japan, getting ready to get on the airplane to come home, everyone was quiet. It was as quiet or more quiet than a fancy restaurant in the US. Everyone is looking down on their phones, minding their own business. A lot of people are eating alone, which in the US, you don't see many people like in fast food restaurants or in restaurants in general eating alone. But they were like on their school break, their lunch, their work break, and everyone was just really, really quiet. And it was clean. In Japan, everything is so clean. The bathrooms, oh my God, the bathrooms are literally like even public bathrooms in train stations at the airport. They're literally like fancy, elaborate bathrooms. If I can find a picture of one, I will insert it, but it's really, really strange. So basically what I'm saying is Japanese people have more manners than Americans. Their etiquette surpasses ours a great deal. It's like they are more civilized. I can't think of a better word to describe it. But it's clean, friendly. They have manners. When I got back to the US, it was like, back to reality. It was so different. I mean, it was like, I don't want to offend any Americans because I'm American. I love Americans. I love America, but you guys will have to go one day to see what I mean. Anyway, if I can think of anything else, I will put it down below, but I'm looking forward to going to Japan, and I hope to bring you guys a lot of interesting videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.